Hello and welcome back to the University of Radlands here, Radlands 101, How to Play series. In this one, we're going to be discussing people. People are pretty important to the game. They're going to be one of the main ways that you will pay for and interact with your opponent, and also help to protect your camps, which is the name of the game. Because if you lose all of your camps, well, you lose the game. So let's go over what a person looks like. Now, in the game, in your deck, there's going to be pretty much 2 copies of every kind of person, except we do have unique characters that actually have a specific name, but we're going to go over these guys in their own individual video. So hold off and we'll get to them, I promise. So for a person card, here's the breakdown. In the corner here is the junk effect that you will get by just discarding this person from your hand, the cost of the person, and the name. So this looter cost 1 water to play from your hand. Now, when they're on the field, then they have their abilities that you can use the next turn after they're played. So for 2 water, this guy can damage a camp or damage anything. If it hits a camp, you get to draw a card. That's what these symbols kind of mean. So let's say we want to play this guy. He's in our hand. There's a few different spots we can play him. Now, on the specific Radlands play mat, they have the recommended or maybe suggested areas you could put that person. If you didn't have a play mat, you can still use other cards to signify where your people go. So your camps are your columns. You have 3 columns because you have 3 camps. And then you could use, your raiders or your water silo in these 2 spots to help signify your rows that your people could go in. So let's say we want to play this looter. He costs a water. So we would put our water on him. Anytime you pay for a person, the same turn they come out, they are not ready. And that's discussed on your handy dandy player card. Now, if he were to survive a turn and we wanted to use his ability, that would cost 2 water. And again, because he has water on him and we used his ability, he is not ready the rest of the turn. He's already been used once. Now, if his ability was 0, you could use one of your extra water tokens, put the not ready sign on him, and that just tells your opponent that you used that 0 cost ability that turn. Now, you might be wondering why I put my person here directly in front of my camp. You could technically and theoretically play him in any of these 6 spots. There is no difference between this spot here and this spot here. You still only have 1 person protecting your camp. But if we go to the sacred text here to page 10 in the rulebook, under actions, playing a card, specifically a person, they recommend or tell you that you should play people in this middle column directly in front of camps if it's the first person in that column. The designer has said in various blog posts on Board Game Geek and Facebook posts that people for rows don't technically really exist unless there's 2 people in that column. Columns exist because you have those camps in those columns. But a person here is the same as a person here. Now, say we wanted to play another person in this row. What's really nice about this game is this guy isn't stuck here necessarily. He can't move from side to side. He's in this column. But if we wanted to play this assassin that we just drew, we can play this assassin in front of our looter to protect the looter. Or if we deem that maybe the assassin is a more important person for our strategy, we can move the looter up and play the assassin behind the looter. And now our transplant lab has 2 people protecting it instead of just 1 or instead of 0. So that is playing a person and how to use a person and when they can be used. Now there's another person in the game who isn't a double character or one of the unique people. The back of the cards. These guys here are called punks. There's a few ways to get them. Some camps generate punks. When you play certain people, they allow you to play a punk. And you can always junk a unique character to also get a punk. Now, punks come out. The main difference between people and punks is most people can be injured or damaged twice. So let's say your looter is injured. He is then turned to the side. That also signifies that he is not ready. We are not able to use his ability this turn. Now, if we were to restore our person somehow with a camp or a junk effect from a card, we would put a not ready symbol on him because characters are not ready the turn they're also restored. But another thing to keep in mind is if you have injured people and punks, we cannot play any more people. You can only have maximum 6 characters or people on the board. And as you can see, our characters are injured here, and punks don't really do anything except our meat shields. They're sponges. So we're kind of at a person block. We are not able to injure or damage our own people. So if we had an injure effect from one of our people that we wanted to use, say we had mutant in our hand, and we said, I'm going to junk or discard a mutant, you cannot injure your own people to make room. Now you could play an event such as truce or radiation that returns people to their hand or injures people, or a large area of effects. That would be the only way to do that. So keep that in mind. That's a pretty important strategy that some people like to implement. Once your board is full, it's full. So that was people and how to use them, how to play them. If you have any other questions about the game, be sure to check out the other videos in this series. And remember, stay thirsty, punks.